Hola, hola, buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. Buenas noches para mí. Muchas gracias por venir otra vez a este live stream, Spanish Nerd live stream número 15. And in this live stream, I want to talk all about Spanish pronunciation, how to improve your Spanish pronunciation. This is a very fun topic for me because if you haven't realized yet through my videos and also Instagram and Twitter and things like that, I love to talk about how I love to imitate Spanish speakers. So that is something that I'm really passionate about, especially because I never really wanted to have, or I wanted to kind of change my accent a little bit and not just sound like a gringo. And I know that a lot of people, a lot of Spanish learners have struggled with that. And it's actually fairly simple to not sound like a gringo. So that is something that I want to talk about today. How not to sound like a gringo, or how at least not to sound too much like a gringo. Because for the most part, a lot of us, we may sound like a gringo for a long time, but at least we can sound a little bit better and sound at least a little bit more native. So that is something that we are going to be discussing today. Let me know in the comment box over here, the comment section, where are you from? ¿De dónde eres? Y también, how long have you been studying Spanish for? Yo soy de los Estados Unidos, and I've been studying Spanish for probably about, 6 years in school, 6 años en la escuela, entonces clases formales, y después de eso, como 3 años por mi cuenta, and learning Spanish for 3 years on my own. So it has been a very, very fun experience learning Spanish. So let me know in the comment section below, or on the side here, I guess, depending on where you're looking from, either on Twitter or on YouTube, because we are streaming on both platforms today. It's the first time, la primera vez que estamos broadcasting, I don't know how to say that in Spanish, broadcasting on 2 different platforms. So that is very fun, very exciting. Déjame saber. Actually, I'll put this in the chat too. Where are you from? Doesn't have to be in Spanish. Where are you from? And how long? I'll say country. The other state. Country. And how long have you been studying Spanish for? Have you been studying Spanish for? Uno de mis preguntas favoritas. Déjame saber esto. Y bueno, I would say like one of the first things I think is really important for improving your Spanish pronunciation is knowing how long it can actually take. It's definitely not a night to day type thing whatsoever. At least for me, it's taken over 3 years to really improve my Spanish pronunciation. I'll also say that it'll never stop. You will always be trying to improve your Spanish speaking skills overall, your communication skills within the Spanish language, and then also with Spanish pronunciation. Y también no importa el tipo de nivel que tienes. It doesn't really matter what your level is either, whether you're beginner, intermediate, advanced. You can always improve your pronunciation skills. So that's something that I would also keep in mind as well. Siempre tiene este hecho y también este consejo en tu mente cuando estás aprendiendo español. You always, always, always can increase your Spanish pronunciation skills. Like me this year, because the past 2 years, I haven't really been increasing my Spanish pronunciation whatsoever. I wasn't really focused on it because I guess not really anybody has told me to just focus directly on that. So this year, I've been focusing a lot on increasing my pronunciation skills. Literally, I can't say that in English. Literalmente es mejor en español. Literally going back to the basics of the Spanish language and making sure I can actually pronounce words correctly. I'm using the correct letters or the correct sounds of the letters. For example, I know I was saying usar, for example. I was saying usar a lot. Usar and utilizar. Pero en español es mejor dicho, es mejor para decir en español utilizar, usar and utilizar. So that's something that I have learned to practice a lot this year, is the way that I am pronouncing the letter U, la letra U en español. Entonces es U. It's not U como in English. So there's a lot of bad habits I've had too over the past few years that I've had to get over and stop doing. That was one of them. And then also with H's too, because H's are silent most of the time. H's are silent in the Spanish language, except for in words like chocolate, for example. Chocolate, there's an H, la H, right after the C, right after the C. So in this case, it does have a sound, but in a lot of other cases, there are many words in the Spanish language that don't have a sound when there's a word that contains the H, que tiene la H. Por ejemplo, hola, la palabra hola. You don't say the H there. You don't pronounce the H. It's mudo, o es muda mejor. Es muda. Entonces es silenciosa. So this letter is silent. So you don't say hola. Don't ever do that. Don't say hola. It's hola. Another one is hielo. It's not hielo, pero it's hielo for ice. What else? ¿Qué más? Otras palabras que empieza con la H. ¿Qué más tenemos? Oh, hermanos, hermanas, por ejemplo. So brothers and sisters, you're not going to say hermana or hermano, hermana. You're going to say hermano, or hermana. So that one's not too bad. But yeah, I think that was really tricky because, as an English speaker, especially if you're, an English native speaker, that is kind of what is popping in your head a lot is, you see a H, so you want to pronounce it like you would in English, right? But yeah, don't do that. Básicamente, don't do that. So la H. So things like that. So, very simple pronunciation rules, with certain letters. All that is very important for improving your Spanish pronunciation, I would say. And then, yeah, so for me this year, I've been practicing that a lot. And, I'm already a fluent Spanish speaker, but again, like I said, I have a lot of issues with pronouncing words correctly. Actually, no. So I'm going to continue with this. So yeah, it doesn't really matter if you're beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever. Fluent Spanish speaker, you can always improve your pronunciation within this language, especially because you are going to come across new words, right? And even though for me, I know a lot of the basics of the language as far as pronunciation, there's still many words that are new to me that I don't know how to say. For example, I was actually had an ITALKI lesson with my tutor yesterday, and she taught me the word refrigeración, and that is extremely difficult for me to say. Déjame ver. Let me look it up real quick, then I'll put it in the chat too. So this word is incredibly difficult for me to say. Like already. Same thing with like refrigerador. It took me like many months for me to actually say this correctly. Oh, also because I wasn't practicing as much as I should have been. But let me look it up. So refrigeración. Like right now, I'm like, I kind of know how it's spelled, but I kind of forgot. So I'm gonna go on SpanishDick.com. One of my favorite Spanish dictionaries, translators, has a little bit of everything. So here we go. Déjame ponerlo aquí. Okay. Ahora mismo yo lo tengo ahí en la caja de comentarios. So right here, we have RAFRIGARACION. So that actually helps too for pronunciation. So, breaking up this word like that. So doing it letter by letter, that helps me out a lot. So because that's kind of how I do a lot of words. If I'm exposed to it for the first time, like in this case, yesterday, I didn't know how to spell it. So, well, she said it first, and I was like, "What do you say? You say refrigeración? How do you say that?" So I asked her how to say it, and then she spelled it out for me. And then after that, she actually put that in the chat. so I could see it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of frustrating for me because I couldn't say it. And then she's like, no, keep trying, keep trying. And I got a little bit better, but it's still difficult for me to say because I just learned it yesterday and I haven't been practicing. But let me give it a go. Let me give it a go. So we have refrigeración. So like we are having a discussion about it yesterday, and she's like, yeah, it's difficult because we have like the fa and the r. So you have the f and the r, so that is kind of difficult. Refri, refri. So you really have to kind of change the sound of it really fast. Refri, refri, refri. So refrigeración. And then trying to say that, I told her to say it really fast. I'm like, I don't know if you can say it really fast. Let me test you real quick. So I can't say it really fast. I'll try to say it slowly. Refrigeración. But like, so as you can see right now, like I'm doing letter to letter and trying to say it all at one time. But even when you do have the letters, you have to know how it sounds all together. So like, just trying to sound it out letter by letter, that's like the first step in like the pronunciation. So refrigeración, like that. But then after that, you have to be able to know how it sounds and how to pronounce it correctly as a whole. Because with hola, some of everything. Muchas gracias por venir. Thanks for coming. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás tú? ¿Cómo tú estás? But if I want to say this word correctly, not correctly, if I want to say this word like all together, like I was just saying it, letter by letter, it's going to sound a little bit different. Right now I'm saying refrigeración. But if I say it faster, refrigeración, it's going to sound a little bit different, if that makes sense. Or like with hola, you can say like hola, la, hola. But when you say it, not like that, just letter by letter, he's going to be saying hola, hola. Or for like como estás, you'll be like, okay, como estás. Pero cuando se junta y cuando se dice como solo una palabra, como sí, casi una sola palabra va a ser como que, ¿cómo estás? Así. Suena un poco diferente. Estoy tranquilo, ya tú sabes, estoy tranquilo aquí. Bueno, estoy súper agradecido por estar acá practicando con ustedes. Ay Dios, tiendo otro live stream. So yeah, I'm really good. Thanks for coming. Happy to be here. I love having these live streams, being able to connect with y'all, have a nice little conversation about Spanish. So much fun. Always fun talking about Spanish. I can talk about Spanish all day long and languages. Okay. So everything from the United States, Florida, to be exact. Okay. I've only been to Florida, I think, like maybe like one time. I didn't really explore Florida. I don't know anything about Florida. No sé nada de Florida. Pero yo sé que hay un montón de latinos ahí y hispanohablantes. I heard it's very diverso. I heard it's very diverse in Florida. Or maybe, I don't know if all of Florida, but definitely Miami, I've heard, is muy diverso. Oh, okay, you said August 31st. So, okay, you just started. That's awesome. Qué excelente que empezaste tu camino con español. Qué excelente. Felicidades también. Because many people, they don't take that first step of trying to learn Spanish or trying to learn Spanish again. They keep saying, or maybe some people may say, oh, I'll learn in 10 years, or I'll learn in 15 years, or I'll learn when I retire, or something like that. See, you're a newbie. Un principiante en español. Un principiante, a beginner. Principiante. 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 Oh, is it going to let me, or is it going to some nope. It's going to give me the English. I don't want the English. But let me know some of everything. How have you been learning Spanish? How have you been learning Spanish? What are you doing right now to learn Spanish, study Spanish? Tell me a little bit about your experience right now. What are you doing? And then I'll put this in here too. Principiante. That's a beginner. Principiante. Principiante. I like saying that word a lot. Principiante. Principiante. Then el príncipe. El príncipe is a prince in Spanish, so it's kind of close. Príncipe. El príncipe. El príncipe. Oh, no. Principio no. Hay muchas palabras parecidas. Principio. Principio. Príncipe. Príncipe. Ay, no. El príncipe. Para mí me cuesta muchísimo recordar muchas palabras. I've noticed this year a lot. I've been forgetting a lot of words that I learned like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatnot. Words I learned in college and stuff. I've been forgetting a lot of words and forgetting how to spell a lot of words too. It's been kind of weird. I don't know why that is. I've been forgetting a lot. Like I've had to look up a lot of words, like simple words, like this one, principiante. I had to look it up. I kind of forgot. I was like, wait, is it an I first or is it an A first, and things like that. So that definitely happens. That definitely happens. Okay, some very thing. At the moment, I meet up with a native speaker. Okay, that's awesome. You're already meeting with native speakers. Also, in the Spanish music, I use sticky notes on things that I use. Que excelente. Okay, that's awesome. Good to hear. I like that study that those study methods there. That's also a lot of fun. And I love listening to Spanish music. Listening to Spanish music, that's my thing right there. I listen to Spanish music nonstop, all day long, all day long. And also a basic Spanish book. So by basic Spanish book, you mean like is it a grammar book or is it just like a regular book, like a novel or something like that? And that also reminds me that I have to finish my book. I have to finish. I catch words all the time. That's good. That's when it gets. Well, I mean, it's always fun, but it's really fun when you can catch words in a song. That's always really fun, especially since you started in August and you're already you're catching words and songs. That's amazing. But it also just kind of tells you like kind of how simple it is, especially when you hear like a word over and over again. If you're speaking it right now, you're meeting with a native Spanish speaker, you hear the same word just maybe 5, 10 times. Depends on the word, but like let's say you go back home and you can still hear that word in your head. It becomes so much easier to be able to just pick it out in a conversation or pick it out in a movie, pick it out in a song or something like that. That's the beauty of learning languages right there. It's a book about the grammar. Okay, cool. That is good. That's awesome. Sticky notes are really sticky notes are definitely very helpful. Very, very. I love sticky notes. They're very helpful. They help you learn vocabulary very fast, and I'll say it in a non-boring way. Like I don't think sticky notes can really, like they're not really boring because it becomes just like a part of like your day basically. You know, I have a sticky note on my table. I have a sticky note on my wall. It's not really boring. It's just I look at my wall, look at the table. It's like, oh, okay, see ya or la pared. Boom. Quick little reminder. It works very well. And you don't even have to put English. You don't have to even put like the English version on there either, because because it's visual. I think that's like one of the best things about sticky notes too. It's just straight visual. You don't have to put the English on there because you already know what the item is. Like if you put it on your table, okay, I already know it's a table, so I don't have to put like the English on there. So then like your mind is just focusing on that Spanish. So you're just focusing on, oh, okay, that's okay. That's La Mesa, La Mesa, La Mesa, and that's it. That's why I like sticky notes a lot. It's just a very very natural way of learning vocabulary without having to be with around a native Spanish speaker all the time. Yeah, my bad. At first, I was nervous, a nervous wreck. I'm always a nervous wreck. I'm always a nervous wreck. Don't worry. Don't worry. My next speaker said you're much comfortable now. Said that you are more comfortable now. Y déjame ver hasta acá. Also, if y'all have any friends, make sure that you invite them to this live stream as well. send them the link to this live stream so they can be a part of the conversation too. Yes, because at first I didn't know what to expect. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that makes sense. It's always yeah. Even for me, like when I started taking some iTalki lessons, and those iTalki is just like a platform where you can find language teachers and things like that, language tutors. And even for me, like I was already a Spanish fluent Spanish speaker, which is kind of a subjective kind of thing. Conversation for a different day or later today. But yeah, even for me, it was very nerve wracking to be a part of one of those lessons because I was coming face to face like with all my mistakes and things like that. It's always awkward, meeting someone kind of for the first time you don't know them, and then especially when it comes to languages, like you're learning, you're studying, it can be kind of awkward sometimes. Pero está bien. Estamos aprendiendo, está bien. Okay, I heard of the app, but never used it yet. Okay. Where did you find your teacher, if you don't mind saying? But I mean, yeah, iTalk is pretty I like iTalki. iTalk is pretty cool. Um it's I'll say it's very flexible. It's very flexible too. That's why I like it because you can definitely you can definitely I would say really have a lesson whenever you want. That's really the really good thing about italki. It's really easy to find a teacher from basically any Spanish speaking country that you would like at a time that you would like. There's so many different tutors and teachers and so many different teaching styles, and it is very cost effective. It is very inexpensive. I would say for what you get is it's quite inexpensive. It's not too bad at all. Perdóname. Tengo que beber agua. Bueno, I was searching Google Maps and searching Spanish and came across a class. Oh, okay, cool. So, are you in a is it an actual class? Like, are you with multiple people, or is it just like private one on one type of lesson? And it's crazy too, because I never thought that I never thought that I would ever really be taking any kind of tutors, anything like that. Um, with just I guess like with my current level. So that's something that I never thought I was going to be doing. I thought I was like too good. I thought I was like uh, uh, from fluent Spanish speaker. I don't need a tutor anymore. I already know the basics of the language. Why would I need a tutor for? But yeah, for bad habits, it's really good. Bad speaking habits, it's really good. Okay, so everything that deals with learning Spanish. Oh, espérame. That deals with learning Spanish and business. Okay, some everything it's a one on one. Okay, that's awesome. Very nice. Y dame la razón, o dime la razón mejor. Dime la razón por la cual decidiste aprender español. Let me know the reason why you started to learn Spanish. Ah, Charlie Spanish Journey, muchas gracias por venir. At first, I was going to do a class full of people, but then I decided to do one on one. But I'm open to learning from anywhere. Oh, yeah. Oh, oops, wait, sorry. I just that another comment popped up, so I got confused there. I agree. I think Charlie's Spanish Journey. I agree. I think italki has been pretty great, but that would be pretty cool to have on in-person class. Sí, claro que sí. Y dependiendo de dónde vives, se puede encontrar a alguien, definitivamente. Depending on where you live, you can probably find someone. All depends on where you live, though. I mean, I'm in Texas, so there's plenty of Spanish speakers here. Also, I'd recommend going to. I don't know if you can find them. Let me put it in the chat here. You can go to meetups, and you might be able to find someone there. But I mean, we have like the internet now, so I mean, there's so many different ways, so many different like you did. You did just like a simple search on Google, and you were able to find a teacher and a class. So really just depends. And also Meetup is really good. I would recommend going on Meetup and trying to, find other language learners too. Again, all the kind of depends on where you live. Depending on where you live, you might be able to find different language exchange groups that are meeting, and depending on the language too, you could be, speaking Spanish, or they could be speaking other languages. So as one website I recommend doing or using if you want to find people. Kiki, hola, hola, buenas. Thanks for coming. Good to see you here. Some of everything. How are you liking the tutoring? Yeah, I like the tutoring a lot. Like for me, I think it's been really good for my bad habits. Again, I've had like really poor habits when it comes to pronunciation over the past, 3 and 4 years. Well, actually, no. Let me say this: I've had bad pronunciation for like my whole life. Not my whole life, like since I was 13 or whatever, taking Spanish classes. So I think they've been really good for that to help me be really conscious about what I'm saying. Because before I would never focus on pronunciation within this language. I took some classes in middle school, high school, but I was never really conscious of really what I was saying. And then college came around, and the same type of thing. I was studying a lot. But I wasn't really speaking. And then after college, for the past 2 3 years, I haven't been focusing on Spanish pronunciation either. So I was mostly just studying, and learning new things. Learning new words. That was good, but I wasn't really focusing on really the way that I spoke. I got better at connecting sentences together, connecting words together, phrases, and things like that. But the pronunciation, it wasn't really something that was crossing my head. So that's why I'm really trying to promote it now, and so it'll help everybody not sound so much like a gringo, like a gringo. Well, it's not a bad thing, but I'm all about trying to increase our pronunciation because it really is not that difficult. Okay, Sean's modern classical music, dependiendo, I thought it was just depende. Depende. Depende de la forma que quieres decirlo. Depende de la frase. And thanks for coming as well. Yes, yeah, because there's different ways to say it. It depends on the sentence. It's dependiendo or it's depende. Depende de algo, no sé. Depende de la frase en que tú estás utilizando esta palabra. Depende de varias razones. So you can say both. It just depends on the way that you're using it, or what you are trying to say. Some everything. Okay, cool. I'll look into them. Muchas gracias. De nada. That's good. You're having a great experience with it. Yeah. No, it's been fun. Like I said, at first it was kind of awkward because I never really taken a tutor. I never had a tutor before. I've taken Spanish classes, but I never had an actual tutor. So been a fun it's been a fun experience. It helped me get out of my kind of break out of my shell a little bit too. Not being afraid to have a lot of issues and stuff, like not issues, make a lot of mistakes, because I make so many mistakes in my I make a lot of mistakes in my tutor sessions. Like even yesterday, I'm making a lot of mistakes. This live stream, I make a lot of mistakes. All my videos, I make a lot of mistakes. So for me, that's probably been the most difficult, difficult aspect of watching my videos that I've made, over the course of this year. Is like, oh my goodness, my pronunciation is bad. My pronunciation is bad. I can't really, or I'm not saying this word correctly. I'm not saying this phrase correctly. So for me, it's been a little nerve wracking to hear the way that I speak. But that is how you definitely improve as a Spanish learner. A lot of practice, not shying away from your mistakes, but tackling them, head on. That's very important as well. Ok, no sabía que depende era un verbo. Bueno, es verdad, yo no estoy seguro. I can't remember what the rule is. I just use it kind of, I just remember how to use it. I don't remember what the rule is anymore. Bueno, depende de la vida, depende de la economía, depende de si uno de mis amigos van a venir, depende de todo. Pero ahora sí, yeah. That one's very useful too. That one's very useful. But it also doesn't make sense. I would, yeah, don't recommend, don't really translate it because it doesn't make that much sense. It's like depends of the economy, depends of my friends, from my friends. Of is really la preposición de es bien complicada. It's super complicada because they is used in so many different words and phrases. Oh no, not words and phrases. And used in a lot of phrases, but yeah, it doesn't really translate well most of the time. For many of them. It's all about aprendido. Aprendido. I like Spanish dict. Yeah, I like Spanish dict too. Spanish dict is, yeah, I use that every single week. Sometimes, not every day. Maybe every other day, but I definitely use it all the time. Like I said, I forget words all the time. Forget words, forget pronunciation. Spanish dict is also very amazing for increasing your Spanish pronunciation as well. Especially if you don't have anybody who is like a native Spanish speaker around you. All you have to do is go on there. You can look up a word, and then you can click on that little volume button, little voice button, or whatever, and then you can hear the actual pronunciation of a lot of the words on there. So that's why I like using the Spanish dict a lot. Yeah, Lingua I use Lingua, but I use Spanish dict a lot more. 'Cause I think with Spanish dict, there's just like a lot of other features on there that I like. With like Spanish dict, there's like there's a lot of grammar rules on there. They got verb charts. They got the translator. They got the pronunciation little tool as well. So that's why I really like Spanish Dick. And then also it'll show you how you should say it as well. So like it'll say the Spanish word, then right under it, it will show you how you can actually pronounce it. So it's really good for increasing your pronunciation. Do we need to add on more words to that site name? I know because I don't like saying it. Spanish dict. Spanish dict. I don't know why they cut it short like that, but yeah, I understand what you mean. It's yeah, it's kind of a very strange, uncomfortable word to say, but yeah, yeah, definitely try out some of everything. Yeah, definitely try out Lingway. Lingway's pretty good too. Or just or you can just go old school and like I do sometimes, and just use a Spanish dictionary. I like a lot of physical things, so that's what I use. I said the same thing. I like using physical stuff because I don't know. I'm just like that. I like physical everything. I don't like being on my computer all the time. I don't like being on my phone all the time. So I like to look up words in my dictionary, look up verbs and stuff in my verb book. I like to read a lot. So yeah, I don't want to be on my computer all the time. I don't. I really don't. Reverso contexto. O también se puede decir doble sentido. Doble sentido. Un doble sentido. Like a double meaning. Déjame ver. Sean's modern classical music. ¿Nos podrías decir por qué hayas decidido aprender el acento del Caribe, aunque vives en Texas? Yo vivo en Texas, pero le digo el castellano. Bueno, I'm not going to say that I didn't choose really like a Caribbean accent. I would say that I chose the Dominican accent. I mean, I really how do I explain this? Sorry. It's hard for me to say. So like when I first started, learning Spanish, I wasn't focused on any accent at all. So for like most of the time I've been studying Spanish, I have not been focusing on an accent. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to say. Like just recently, I started to get more interested in the Dominican accent because I went to the Dominican Republic. Y fui ahí hace un año, sí, casi 2 años. El año pasado en junio, y por eso razón, no sé, me enamoró de este país y me encanta su forma de hablar y también es como su reto también. It's like it's very difficult to like when I went there, uh, both times it's really difficult for me to understand. So that's why I just kind of naturally went. I didn't really decide to learn it. I was just trying to understand them, and that's kind of how I started to learn more about the accent and things like that. So I say that I didn't decide because I haven't been practicing that much. So that's why I don't say I decide. Like I've been really bad when it comes to making decisions when it comes to accents. Like I really haven't been practicing like a lot. Even after I came back to the Dominican Republic, I wasn't practicing my Dominican accent. Like most of the time, like this year, after I came back, I've been using my neutral accent most of the time. So I don't use like my Dominican accent just like all the time. I use it sometimes or if I talk to like my Dominican friend. So that's what I'll say. I haven't really decided. I hope I decide soon, but I'm around more a lot of different Spanish speakers from different Spanish countries. I got friends from Mexico. I got friends from Cuba, de la República Dominicana. So yeah, it's just like there's a mixture of accents around me. And for me, it's hard for me to choose. Like for me, I'm not going to sit down really and choose one accent and just focus on that accent, focus on that country. I'm not like that. I wish I was, but I'm not. I like to learn everything all at the same time. I like to learn a little bit about the Dominican Republic. I like to learn a little bit about Mexico. I like to learn a little bit about Cuba. I like to learn a little bit about Honduras. So for me, that's what I mean. But like I didn't really decide anything because I'm always learning just a little bit of everything. I haven't focused one full year on one accent. I have not focused one full year just on one country. I'm all over the place, which is terrible. I wish I could just focus on one, but I just haven't really done that yet. But I know if I did, I would get a lot better. I would get a lot better with my accents because right now my accents aren't thick at all. They're not thick whatsoever, but yeah, we're getting there. And then like this year, I started to learn the accent, castellano, bueno, no, no es castellano, el acento español este año. No sé por qué me da mucha risa y por la razón por la cual yo no sabía nada de España, de su cultura, de su acento, de la comida, nada de eso. So I also chose to practice a little bit of the Spanish accent, but again, not practicing it a lot. Just kind of learning a little bit about Spain because I didn't know anything about Spain this until this year. So knew nothing about Spain, knew nothing about the way that they spoke, nothing about the culture, nothing like that. So that's why this year I kind of decided to kind of go on a little journey, small little journey, very short, of trying to learn the Spanish accent. But again, it's just like I'm not practicing it all the time. I'm not putting in every single day just learning colloquial words and phrases from Spain. It's nothing like that. Nothing super in depth. But I definitely focus is really key. As you can see here, that's kind of like the theme. If you're trying to like develop your action or something like that, a lot of focus and a lot of time specifically. Like if I just focus just on just one country specifically for many months, like my accent and just my knowledge of colloquial words and things like that would increase a lot. But I don't do that because I'm too over the place. I'm all over the place, and I have too many goals. I have a lot of goals too. Okay, déjame regresar a estos comentarios. What es este libro? Nunca he visto una cosa. Me gusta usar internet porque no puedo encontrar mucha información en un libro. Como un diccionario. Ese diccionario yo encontré ese diccionario. No, bueno, yo no encontré, yo lo compré. Yo compré ese diccionario en la escuela cuando estuviera en la universidad. Entonces fue obligatorio para comprar. I carry with me my Spanish dictionary and I like to write sentences. That's good. That's a really good idea. Some of everything. Todos los afroamericanos hablan español como dominicano. Más o menos. No exactamente como los dominicanos. Uno parecida. Yo diría que como que, bueno, la única cosa que está parecido es el rapidez, esa rapidez, pero no es igual. Los dominicanos son otra cosa. Los dominicanos, Dominicans speak this like, I don't even know. It blows my mind how they speak from there. I only know one black American who speaks Spanish like a true Tia from Spain, but only because she lived there. I learned a lot of Black history in Latin America. So did I. So have I. A lot of Black history in Latin America since learning Spanish. Me too, a lot. But the first black town in Colombia, San Basilio de Palenque. Shows modern classical music. Te pregunto porque hay varios acentos, y todo tiene sus diferentes acentos y reglas. Claro que sí. Yeah, that's why Spanish is not. Spanish is just not like just like super simple. Like I used to think all of Mexico. I thought they sounded all the same. They have a crazy amount of accents in Mexico. So I've been starting to meet a lot more Mexicans, and they definitely have a lot of different styles of speaking, different accents. And a lot of times when I meet people from Mexico, I don't even know that they're from Mexico. Like that's how much like knowledge that I lack from this country. I'm like, you're from Mexico? I'm like, really? I'm like, oh, I can't even tell because there's so different accents I haven't heard yet. So yeah, just more knowledge, more knowledge. Más conocimiento de acentos. Charlie's been a journey. I would say it's not important to learn an accent perfectly because I think it's okay to not sound native. Yeah, I agree with that too. I think it depends on your goals. I think it depends on your goals. I don't know if you can even learn an accent perfectly though. I've heard a lot of like Spanish learners and they speak and everything. I've heard them sound very, very well, but sounding exactly like a native is that's otro nivel. If I had to do it todo, si tuvieran si haría otra vez. I only learned Spanish from one country, learn they speak in that country said away the way I do. Mixing up phrases from multiple different countries. Yeah, I kind of had that problem at first, but yeah, I kind of had that problem at first, but now it just I don't learn that many phrases from like I don't study just a whole bunch of phrases from other countries. That's why I don't do that. Any new phrases or any new words I get, it's just from conversations from different people. So it's not like I'm actually like studying them that I get mixed up. So I guess like for me, that's kind of helped just having conversations, and that's the way that that's the way I'm actually acquiring these new words. I don't just study lists of words and phrases from a whole bunch of different countries and try to memorize them. I don't. That's not something that I do. But yeah, I definitely want to focus. Like I want to focus at the same time I don't because there's only so much time in the day. That's my biggest issue. I have so many goals that I want to. There's so many goals that I want to accomplish and things like that. So for me, it's very difficult because I'm always trying to do something like five different things at one time. That's why it's difficult for me. I'm trying to finish my book. I'm trying to increase my neutral accent. I'm trying to increase my Spanish accent. I'm trying to increase my Dominican accent. I'm trying to increase my listening comprehension. I'm trying to have better conversations in Spanish. Oh no! Now I want to learn vocabulary that's related to cooking. Okay, no. Now this day I want to learn vocabulary that's related to fitness. That's me. I'm all over the place. Like no focus. Don't do that. Don't follow my lead unless you want to. But yeah, having focus is very important. I would say having focus. I have a lot of goals, but focus is a different thing. You can have a lot of goals and still not be focused. That's also a video I plan on making. I plan on making a video like that. You can have a lot of goals, but you still need focus to be able to reach those goals. Because in my case, I have so many goals I want to reach, but there's only so much time in the day. And a lot of goals that I have, like they would take months and months for me to improve, or it's like to reach those goals, or even years. Castellano. I've been rewatching the Argentine novela Muneca Brava. Oh, I've never heard that before. I haven't watched a lot of TV shows and movies this year either, unfortunately. I have not. Kiki, I learned they spoke more than Spanish in Spain. You learn so much learning a language. Claro que sí. Aprendes un montón de cositas en este mundo. Pronunciaciones depende del país. Tenemos que elegir un país o región para tener un estándar. Por lo menos, yo creo. Some everything. I know. It is like I'm in a new world with learning Spanish. Not a bad thing, no. Como me siento lo mismo. Me siento lo mismo. I was being funny. I know what a dictionary is. I don't want to use one. No. I thought Kiki. I thought your question was which dictionary are you using? So that's why I lifted up because I thought you were asking which one I had. That's why. Casino. Hola. Bienvenidos. A few Puerto Ricans at my job, they speak it so fast. I'm trying to learn Portuguese and improve my Spanish. Oh man, I have hat off to you because I have no desire to learn Portuguese. It looks way. I don't. It seems like I would mix it up so much. Claro que sí. Hayas visto un video de Lingoriosa. Se trata de acento neutro. Claro que sí. I have watched a few videos. Sí, yo he visto uno de sus videos y me parecen súper entretenidos y también me da mucha risa. Y ella es muy energética y parece muy inteligente. Y bueno, sabe cómo enseñar español muy bien. A través de historias y otras cosas entretenidas. Some everything. Yeah, I'm setting up a schedule next week so I can be organized with my studying. Yeah. Yeah, schedule is very important. If you don't have a schedule, then you just like don't do anything. That's been my experience. If I don't have like certain how to put this. Let's say my goal is to read. I want to finish my book. But if I don't put down that I'm going to read Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 5 p.m., more than likely I'm not going to do it. Because there's so many things going on in life, and if I don't have like a schedule in front of me, I'm not going to do anything. Or I'm going to be asking myself, or what should I do? I don't know what to do. So that's why having a schedule is very important. Having a schedule, at least just putting down on paper when you want to do things. Like I said right there, okay, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., or in between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m., okay, I want to read my book. In between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., I want to practice speaking Spanish. Something as simple as that. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Algo súper simple que se puede terminar en como unos cuantos minutos. No toma mucho tiempo. Yo también. Some everything. A schedule keeps me disciplined. Yeah, keeps me very disciplined as well. La disciplina. Qué buena pregunta. ¿Dirías que tu nivel de español es C1 o C2? Y para decir la verdad, no tengo ni idea. I have no idea. ¿Estás de acuerdo con lo que dije? I have no idea what my Spanish level is at. I don't like taking tests, and I really don't want to take a test because they make me very angry. Because I don't like, I don't know. I have no idea. And I would also say with those levels, it's hard for me to measure. It's hard for me to measure myself based off those levels, unless I take a test and it tells me that I'm this level. Other than that, I wouldn't really know. And I think primarily because I think like the biggest thing that it would tell me is my knowledge of grammar. Because it can't really tell me how good I am in a conversation. Because there's so many things that you can measure during a conversation. For example, did you understand that native Spanish speaker very well? Did you understand what they were saying? Did you respond to them? Did you respond to them? Did you respond to them? Did you answer the question, fully Were you making mistakes? Did you not make mistakes? So for me, it's kind of hard. Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely conversational. I'm definitely conversational, I would say. Yeah, I have conversations in Spanish, but how good those conversations are, that's a different story. That's a different story. Which is why it's hard to measure. I would say it's hard to measure conversations. Um, like Spanish speaking fluency, because it's like I said, I could be in a conversation, right? But I could feel not confident whatsoever, making a lot of mistakes, but I'm still having a conversation. I could also have a conversation where I feel very confident. I'm not making many mistakes, but I'm still having a conversation as well. So there's different, a lot of different ways that you can measure. That I see that I haven't really been able to measure using exams and things like that. Like a lot of those different like some of these scales I see, it's like, oh, you can talk about this and this and that, but like on paper it sounds like okay, right? But let's say I put you in a situation where I put you in un comado. Tú estás en un comado hablando con dominicanos en la República Dominicana, con nativos, ¿me entiendes? Eso sería un ambiente completamente diferente. Tú tienes que comprender lo que están diciendo, lo que te están diciendo, y a la vez hablar fluidamente y contar una historia, algo así, ¿me entiendes? Es diferente. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. But again, I'm not trying to really I'm not trying to be a teacher or anything like that. Or I mean, maybe one day, like if I see an opportunity to have like a certain role or something like that, then yeah, definitely I will take some type of certification or something like that if I need to. But right now, I'm just kind of just practicing on my own, learning on my own. There's not like a position, a job that I'm trying to have where I would actually need to take an exam like that. So that's where I'm not really focused on it either. So maybe my mind might change if it's for a job, but right now it's not super important to me at the moment. Sean's modern classical music. ¿Crees que las clases universitarias de español hubieran útiles? Bueno, solamente podría decir por mi propia experiencia, yo diría que un poquito, hasta un punto. Por ejemplo, no nos enseñó como como mis profesores ay Dios, en la universidad, no nos enseñaron cómo comunicarnos en español, cómo hablar fluidamente. Solamente básicamente nos dieron tarea. Eso para mí no es enseñando, ¿me entiendes? Dando tarea y terminamos nuestras tareas. Eso no me ayudó tanto, porque solamente yo tenía un montón de palabras y frases en la mente, pero no sabía cómo comunicarme. Yo creo que la comunicación literalmente es lo más importante mientras aprendes un idioma. Pero yo sabía cómo escribir, por lo menos. Yo sabía cómo escribir por mis clases. Eso es lo que me ayudó muchísimo. Cómo escribir, cómo leer. Yo aumenté mi habilidad de leer en español y escribir un poquito, aunque mi gramática no fue no fue tan excelente. Porque yo escribí con un montón de errores. Yo cometí muchos errores en la universidad. Pero bueno, aparte de eso, no sé, no me ayudo, no me ayudo a comunicar de ninguna manera. Ya sabes que yo he publicado varios videos en que estoy hablando cuando estuviera en la universidad y fue horrible, fue horrible. Entonces yo tuve que tomar el primer paso para mejorar mi forma de hablar, porque no nos enseñó nada de eso, o cómo comunicarnos con hispanohablantes, o cómo controlar nuestros sentimientos, nada de eso, ¿me entiendes? cómo superar el miedo de hablar, cómo superar el miedo de cometer errores. Estos tipos de habilidades no nos enseñaron. Por esa razón yo diría que hasta un punto me ayudaron esas clases en la universidad, pero solamente hasta un punto. Acabo de terminar intermedio uno, pero no sé si me haya ayudado. And yeah, that's the thing too, como la cosa es que todo depende de lo que quieras en ese idioma, todo depende de tus metas. Por ejemplo, ahora mismo tú estás diciendo que no te haya ayudado muchísimo, pero eso es porque tú estás esperando para algo, no sé, una meta específica que quizás no podrías alcanzar con tu tarea en las clases. Por esa razón, perdóname, tú tienes que hacerlo con tus propias manos, ¿me entiendes? Casino. How long have you been studying Spanish seriously? So seriously, I've been studying Spanish seriously for I would say 2 years. 2 years after this waste de la universidad, after university, I've been studying Spanish for like seriously, consistently every single day for 2 years. No, damn it, bad. 21, 2021, 2020. Almost 3 years, sorry. Almost 3 years. Cause yeah, that's 4 years for college. So yeah, almost 4 years. No, lo siento. Almost 3 years. Casi 3 años. Constantemente. Because like the first year after college, I was not serious at all. The first year after college, I was listening to podcasts sometimes. Listen to podcasts sometimes, and wasn't really speaking to Spanish speakers. That was it. I wasn't really doing anything. But then after that, like in 2022, that's when I really started to get more serious. And it was, kind of the beginning of the pandemic. So like there was nothing open. So I started to study Spanish like all the time. So basically since the beginning of 2020, I've been studying Spanish consistently after taking formal classes. Y ha sido una buena experiencia. He fallado demasiadas veces. Muchos errores, mucho temor, muchas inseguridades, un montón de todo. But I've learned a lot. But that's why I like having my YouTube channel, so you don't make the same mistakes that I do, that I have made. Que no cometan los mismos errores que yo he cometido en el pasado. And so you can learn a lot faster. Because I could have learned a lot faster if I didn't, if I knew what I was doing, but I had no idea what I was doing. So that's why I like to give a lot of tips. Yeah. Wow, that's a really good question. I have never heard that question before. Casino, how many more years of study when you feel you reach the level that you want? I don't know. To answer that question, it's hard to say. I can say 2 years, but I've been trying to become fluent for the past 2 years. Y la cosa es, I've reached speaking fluency, conversational fluency, but I feel like I really don't know anything. So that's the thing. I thought that when I was gonna reach the point of being able to comprehend Spanish speakers, okay, I comprehend Spanish speakers. The majority of them for the most part, sometimes, and then I'm a fluent Spanish speaker. I thought that once I reached this level, or I was having conversations with Spanish speakers, that I was going to be exactly where I wanted to be. And now that I've reached this place, I don't want to be here at all. I want to be way more advanced, more knowledge of grammar, and yeah, I want a lot more. I want more knowledge of my grammar, Like even right now, I'm struggling a lot trying to think of the correct sentences to say. I want to write better. I want to do so many different things better. And I mean, I can say like, okay, maybe 2 years. 2 years. I'll say 2 years. I can I'll be a lot better. But I can't say that I'm going to be where I want to be. Because where I want to be, I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. I think with 2 years, 2 more years, I can definitely reach a higher level for sure. I just have to, practice a lot more. But plus, I'm learning French. That's the other issue. I've been slowly regretting, not slowly. I've been kind of regretting my decision to learn French this year because I'm like, oh man, can now they put a lot more time, or put more time to put time to learning French versus Spanish, because that takes a lot of time trying to learn a new language, and yeah, French is taking time out of the day. I'm so used to learning Spanish all the time, but yeah, learning two languages at the same time is no joke. I thought it was gonna be easy. I thought I was gonna be fluent at the end of the year. I thought I was gonna be a fluent French speaker by the end of the year. I'm not there yet, not even close. So that's something that is will kind of push that date out for how many more years I feel like when I feel like I reached my level. Maybe 2 years. We'll see. I mean, really, I just want to just increase my conversational skills. Again, grammar, more phrases, want to be more descriptive, things like that. Awen, hola, hola desde Vietnam. Estoy aprendiendo español y inglés. Me cuesta mucho la gramática. Es que es diferente de mi idioma, claro. Igualmente, igualmente. Bueno, ¿cuál es lo que tú te cuesta más durante el proceso de aprender español? I would say what has been like the most, oh, bueno, en español. Lo que ha sido lo más difícil, lo que más que me costaba durante mi proceso aprendiendo español, yo diría ha sido solamente como la cantidad de conocimiento que necesitaba para aprender ese idioma. Yo tuve que aprender la gramática, la pronunciación, el vocabulario, y también con la gramática, cómo utilizar el vocabulario correctamente, cómo conectar frases, cómo conectar palabras. Y después de eso, con la comunicación, tienes que saber cómo decir las palabras bien, la pronunciación. Después de eso, tienes que comprender qué están diciendo la otra persona. Eso también es lo que me costaba. Es una cosita para aprender vocabulario con mis libros, con tarjetas, sticky notes, cosas así. Pero después de eso, ¿cómo necesitaba? Siempre me preguntaba cómo sería capaz de utilizar este vocabulario que estoy aprendiendo. Eso fue muy difícil para mí. La comunicación en persona, como ahora mismo, pero como frente de una persona o ante una persona, cara a cara. Eso fue lo que me costaba muchísimo. La comunicación, comprendiendo a la otra persona, escuchando, escuchando a un nativo, un hispanohablante, es súper difícil, es muy complicado también. No solamente tienes que comprender el vocabulario que te están diciendo o que están utilizando, no es simplemente eso, es el vocabulario, pero tienes que saber qué significa, qué significa ese vocabulario, qué significa esa palabra, y quizás, por ejemplo, las palabras que me están diciendo, ¿es un chiste o no? Es un chiste, sarcasmo, algo así, ¿me entiende? Entonces, la comprensión es súper difícil para mí. Estaba muy difícil para mí también. La comprensión auditiva. Porque eso es algo que no pasa de noche a día, pero toma muchos meses, mucha repetición y más conocimiento de la cultura, porque no solamente vocabulario, no es tan simple como aprendiendo un diccionario así, buscando una palabra y bueno, yo entiendo exactamente lo que me estás diciendo. No es así, no es tan simple. Tiene que saber un poco más de la cultura de un país, quizás. Quizás como aguas, siempre yo utilizo esta frase, o bueno, esta palabra, porque aguas en México significa ¿qué? Aguas en México significa, bueno, aguas, waters, water, pero también significa ten cuidado, watch out. Entonces, eso es lo que me costaba muchísimo, es todo el coloquialismo en español. Es súper variado, muy diversa, ¿me entiendes? Entonces, sí, eso es lo que me costaba muchísimo. Comunicándome y comprendiendo los hispanohablantes. Eso. Some of everything. Wait patiently and can't wait to see progress around this time and next year. Me too. I'm excited to see what I'll reach next year. But hey, guess what? Bueno, dependiendo de dónde vives, es solamente 10, 10 de diciembre o 11 de diciembre. So it's only December 10th. So there's still time for you to progress for the end of the year. So that's exciting. Okay, Sean's modern classical music. This is a very interesting question. ¿Cuál es tu definición de fluencia? Hablar con fluidez. Bueno, anteriormente, hace 2, hace 3 años, siempre pensaba que hablando con fluidez simplemente fue hablando, como hablando perfectamente, sin pausa, sin pausas, sin errores. Eso fue mi definición de hablar con fluidez antes. Pero ahora yo he llegado a hablar con fluidez y mi perspectiva de esa palabra es súper, súper diferente. Porque aunque yo soy capaz de hablar con fluidez, perdóname, todavía yo tengo un montón de errores que yo comete, ¿me entiende? Yo hablo con muchos errores, me falta la pronunciación, entonces como la fluidez para mí es como me siento en el momento. Ahora mismo estoy hablando fluidamente, pero todavía se puede ser mucho mejor, mucho mejor. La pronunciación, me cuesta decir esa palabra, la pronunciación, la velocidad, la pronunciación y también qué tan descriptible que estoy también. Entonces, sí, es difícil para definir esta palabra porque yo diría que es súper subjetivo. Es súper subjetivo para mí. Entonces, como no te puede decir una definición como fija, ¿me entiendes? Es algo muy compleja y difícil para darte una respuesta muy clara. Yeah, so for me, kind of speaking Spanish fluently, for me, fluency was always just speak, like, for the past 2, 3 years. Beforehand was speaking perfectly for the most part. Was speaking without speaking very fast, speaking where's my camera at? There we go. Speaking very fast, uh, like perfect pronunciation, very little pauses, and yeah, be able to have a conversation. So that was my definition before. But now, since I'm already here, since I'm como dado que ya he llegado a hablar fluidamente, my definition has changed. My mentality has changed completely on what fluency is because I'm always still trying to improve my Spanish speaking skills. So, like, even during this live stream, there's so many different things that I said incorrectly, so many different words and phrases that I could have said better. I could have been more descriptive. So now my definition of fluency is not that. Like my definition of fluency is not what I have said during this live stream, because like I feel like my definition of fluency just changes depending on how I feel. And yeah, it's really just, I don't know, really perspective based. But I would say, like, for most people, if they want like a definition of it, I don't know. I don't know what there is an actual definition. But for me, I always thought that like fluency too was just conversational. Like you can have a conversation. But look, there's also como un montón de conversaciones que uno se puede tener en este mundo. There's a lot of different types of conversation. So just because someone says like, okay, yeah, I'm conversational in Spanish, but what does that mean? You could be having a conversation like this, okay? Una persona te pregunta algo como, okay, ¿cómo fue tu día? Y tú digas que ok, mi día fue excelente, yo hice, no sé, no mucho. Like, is that conversational or is that not conversational? Like you're saying words, you're having a conversation with someone, but what, you know what I mean? Like what level of conversation are you having? So I think that's where fluency gets really complex. It gets very confusing on how to actually define what that is. For me, it's been, I've never really like looked it up what other people's definition of it, but for me, it's always changing. Depends on how I feel. Because I'm very critical of myself. You haven't noticed, I'm very critical of myself. So I'm always trying to improve the way that I speak. I'm very passionate about communication and things like that. So I always criticize myself. So if I mess up, I kind of beat myself over the head a lot. If I make a mistake, if I'm not descriptive enough, I don't like being not descriptive when I'm speaking Spanish. So since I don't like it, I include that as a part of my fluency, for me personally. So for me, it's just like, oh, it's just straight subjective. Um, and then yeah, also for me, I used to hate speaking Spanish with a lot of pauses, but now I speak a lot better. I still have pauses, but not as much as like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I had a lot. It took me a long time to get out a sentence. Now it's a lot easier for me to get out a sentence, but I know I can still do better. So I used to measure fluency based off how many pauses that I made, but even that's not accurate because we all speak so differently. Some people speak with a lot of pauses and other people don't. It just depends on your type of, conversational skills, your type of speaking. So yeah, it's very hard to say. So like I've really been changing what my perspective on fluency was, because I was chasing it for such a long time, but I never knew what it was, and that's why I always failed. I always failed at trying to reach fluency because I had no idea what it meant besides speaking perfectly, which is not a thing, doesn't exist. Nobody speaks perfectly. Nobody speaks perfectly. Well, maybe some people may say they speak perfectly. I'm not gonna say that. Maybe there's someone out there that speaks perfectly. I'm not good at grammar, so. Okay, Sean's modern classical music. Mi meta era obtener nivel B2, o B2, B2, y aprobado exámenes a nivel B2, pero todavía no me siento como un imbécil. Imbécil. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at myself, because I always feel like un imbécil, siempre. Cuando hablo con mis compañeros. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Everything changes when you have a conversation in person. Everything changes. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know if studying a lot of grammar and things like that and taking a lot of examinations, really increases your conversational skills. I don't know, because I never went that route, so I can't really say. I know I took examinations in college. Well, I guess I kind of can't say, because I took examinations in college, but like again, they weren't helpful with conversations whatsoever. There's so much to learn. Casino, is there other languages outside of French you would like to try to study? Yes, after French, I'm planning on studying German because I like the way that it sounds. That's it. That's the only reason that I have. I love the way that German sounds. And yeah, that's mostly it. I can say a few phrases and no, like maybe like two phrases. I love the way that German sounds. So I want to learn German because it sounds kind of like aggressive, but I don't know. It sounds really interesting. Like kann ich das haben? Kann ich das haben? That means can I have that or something like that. That Dutchland. That's all I know. I know kann ich das haben, and then I know was ist das? Was ist das? And I always make fun of. I always use those two phrases with my friends, and they get super annoyed. I'm like, kann ich das haben? And then I can count up to 10. I think no, I can count up to 9 or 8. Well, that's about it in German. I can say eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben, something like that. I don't know the rest, but that's why you see, German sounds so nice. But yeah, that's the only one that I would like to learn. After that, I'll say maybe I'm done. We'll see. Kiki, I never say I'm fluent unless it's for a job. I'll do the same thing. Yeah, like if someone just asks you, like, are you a fluent Spanish speaker? Yeah, for me, it's just, yeah. Sí, yo soy fluente. Sí. Sean's learning classical music. Estudié alemán en la prepa, pero se me ha olvidado todo. Jajaja. Ich habe in der Schule Deutsch gelernt. See, I don't know how to pronounce it. I can't read German, obviously. Ich. I like the way they say that. Ich habe in der Deutsch. Yeah, I think German sounds better than French. I think German sounds better than French. I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe I should have learned German instead of French first. Camden. Camden, hola, buenas noches. Gracias por venir. Te doy la bienvenida a mi live stream. Thanks for coming. I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitter. This is my first time streaming on two platforms at the same time. Dos plataformas a la vez. This is my first time live streaming on Twitter. I have no idea if anybody's watching it on Twitter. I didn't even know that you can live stream on Twitter. This is super interesting. Super interesante. Nunca sabía eso. Que tenía ese tipo de ¿cómo se dice? Dispositivo? Algo así. Like feature. But yeah, you can live stream on Twitter in case anybody wants to do that later for whatever reason. Yeah, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you should do that. You can follow me on Twitter if you want. I post a lot of just random thoughts of mine about learning languages and learning Spanish. Oh, here's one tweet I made today. I'm going to read it because it's kind of I was talking about earlier. I have 20 days to finish Corazón Tan Blanco, which is right here. I haven't finished this book yet because I'm being very lazy. This book here, Corazón Tan Blanco, before the end of this year. I'm currently on page 169, and there are 314 pages in this book. I need to stop being lazy, number one, and get more disciplined to finish this book in time. I like using Twitter. It's kind of like my, it's like, how would I put it? Like my notes, and my reflections. That's what I like using Twitter because I do a lot of reflection of my Spanish learning journey. My like documentation too, reflection and documentation. But yeah, I definitely need to finish this book. Yeah, I need to finish this book. I started reading this book. Yo empecé a leer ese libro hace meses, hace demasiados meses. Yo empecé a leer ese libro en marzo de este año. Marzo. Y solamente yo he leído 168 páginas. Qué vergüenza, qué pena. No soy el mejor estudiante de español, de ninguna manera. No soy. Así no soy. So yeah, I will definitely finish it this year. I'm gonna make sure I read tonight. No more excuses. I'm going to read tonight, at least a few pages. So yeah, it will hurt my pride. It will hurt my pride if I don't finish this book because it's pretty sad. I started in March. I started this book in March. That's a very long time ago. Okay, that's March. How many months is that? 7 plus, what was it, 9, 10? I can't do math. No, 9, 8. 8 months, right? No, 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 no. 10, 12 minus 3. What's 12 minus 3? Sean's modern classical music. ¿Has intentado leer la Biblia en español? Yo he leído, lo he leído unos versículos en la Biblia, sí, pero la Biblia por completa, no, nunca. Nunca he intentado eso, pero solamente he leído unos versículos, nada más de eso. So everything. Gracias de nuevo por este directo. About to call it a night. Have a great night, everyone. Muchas gracias por venir otra vez. Mil gracias a ti. Y cuídense muchísimo. Cuídense y que tengas una buena noche. But yeah, no, I have not. I have not attempted to read the Bible in Spanish. Solo unos versículos. Pero hablando de la Biblia, I think my friend said like the way that it's written is from Spain, possibly, and the a lot of words that they use, they're very interesting because I never knew that they would write like I guess it's like older Spanish. I'll give you one word. For example, for like pedir, la palabra pedir, you might see it like pedir. And I have no idea why that is. I've just seen it written like that before. So I guess it's some type of old Spain Spanish or something. I don't know. I just know that there's words like that or that end in that, like ID or ED or something like that. Super interesting. Very interesting. Also, yeah, don't forget to like this live stream, like the live stream, and share with your friends. If you aren't subscribed, if you aren't subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that too. That helps out the my channel a lot. And share my videos with your friends. Do that too. Share my videos with your friends. Share my videos on your Instagram too. On your Instagram, on your tweeters, your Twitter, your Facebook. Ah, it's a command. Ah, lead, it's a command. Oh, vosotros from. Oh, it's really interesting. Ah, nunca sabía eso. Esa regla. Qué loco. Hablar. That is very interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's why I don't know anything about the vosotros form. So there's a lot to learn, as you can see here with Spanish. Like I haven't mastered anything with the I haven't mastered anything with en España. Okay. Es común en España oír vosotros. Sí, sí, yo sé eso. Pero it's like como like I don't really know how to do all the verb conjugations and all that with the vosotros form, or even how to pronounce it because it's different. Like the word, the letter combination is like really different. It's like pincise, pincise. I don't know if it's like pincise or pincise, but okay, como es que como A-E-S, pincise, pincise. That's kind of difficult. But that's kind of one reason why I started to learn a little bit more about Spain and how they speak Spanish there because it kind of really is like a different form. Yeah, like if you're not like if you haven't learned the vosotros form, it's like you have to learn almost like Spanish all over again with the verb conjugations. So it's kind of a pretty big hump to get over as far as like trying to learn that type of Spanish. But I love the way they speak Spanish in España. Me encanta, me encanta. I love their accent. I got like super off topic. I was supposed to be talking about improving your Spanish pronunciation. I always do this, but it's fun. We talk about a whole bunch of different different topics in these live stream. I love it. Estoy demasiado acostumbrado, ahora solo hablo con vosotros. Oh, verdad. Aunque yo sé que mis compañeros no se dicen vosotros. Okay. I use vosotros sometimes just for fun. And like for whatever reason, one of my friends, they use the vosotros form. But he's from Guatemala, but they still like use like vos, evos, and things like that for some reason. And then also like even like Dominicans use a decent amount of vosotros too. Like they don't say like hubiera, they'll say hubiese. Hubiese en lugar de hubiera. That's something that I noticed too. I was like, oh wow. So like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, oh, you wouldn't think that they would use like the vosotros form, just like because like the way that they speak. But yeah, they use that and like the vosotros form in that type of way, like with some of the words that they say. Like in this case, like with the verb conjugations. So that was super interesting. Gracias a la Casa de Papel. I love La Casa de Papel. I haven't watched it that much this year. I think I'm only on season 2 or something like that. Like season 2, I think. Season 2, I think. But yeah, that's really good. It's a really good TV show or Netflix show, Netflix series, and it's extremely popular. Y tiene tremenda actuación también. I love the actors in that show. Hablad. Yeah, that's something I would definitely have to get accustomed to. Are those different verb conjugations, which takes a lot of learning and a lot of time, and that's why I definitely have been lazy when it comes to that. I'm like, they're going to learn all these verb conjugations over again. Sean's Runner en Classical Music, ¿nos darías consejos de practicar acento? Claro que sí. ¿Qué tipo de consejos necesitas para practicar tu acento? Como tu acento de cualquier país, así. The first thing I would say is do a lot of. Oh no, first thing I would say is have patience. Definitely have patience. That's literally number one. Because it definitely takes a lot longer than I originally thought to increase your accent. Being patient, and then also consuming a lot of material from that particular country. If you're just looking for one type of accent, learning as much as possible about the accent, and you'll get that from consuming or talking to the natives of that place. Like for example, like with Dominican accent for me, I try to take as many notes as possible now. Before I wasn't doing it. Before I was just like trying to imitate them, but that really didn't help that much because I didn't really understand, what's all involved with an accent. What an accent really is, what does sound actually mean. But now, como yo tomo un montón de notas de todo que oiga, mientras miro una película o una canción o algo así. Por ejemplo, yo noté que los dominicanos a veces se cortan la S. Entonces, ok, bueno, porque yo oí eso en unas películas, unas series, también con mis amigos. Después de eso, yo noté eso y yo empecé a hacer esto. Entonces, instead of saying ahora mismo, y voy a decir ahora mismo, pero ya lo tengo guardado en mi memoria. Ya lo tengo guardado en mi memoria, ¿me entiendes? Entonces yo lo noté, yo estudié y estoy escuchando a los dominicanos diciendo ese tipo de, no, es como una regla, no es una regla como tal, pero me entiendo lo que quiero decir. Es como una regla, como eso es una regla de los dominicanos. Tiene que contar un montón de palabras y frases. Bueno, tiene que contar varias letras de las palabras. Entonces se corta la S de varias palabras ahora mismo. Y ¿qué más dicen con la S? Espérame, espérame, Como no van a decir espérame, espérame, pero es más como espérame, espérame. Se corta la S completamente. Entonces, como yo escucho eso me doy cuenta que están diciendo palabras así, ok, yo voy a escribir, yo voy a tomar notas, ok, están diciendo eso así, bueno, y tomar notas de todo, eh, de toda cosa, que toda vaina que notas. Perdóname, mi garganta está muy seca. Ese tipo de notas, notas de lo que escuchas, de lo que te das cuenta. También para mí se dice mucho de vaina, la vaina. La vaina, bueno, déjame regresar al principio. Con el acento. El acento para mí incluso o consiste de sonidos, de tonos, vocabulario y el ritmo, como el ritmo y el patrón del acento y también de la velocidad. Entonces, si dice eso también, como entonces, así es como ese tipo de ritmo, espérame, no, espérame, espérame, así. O en la vaina, esta vaina, como así también, como muy, es como contada, como los mexicanos se cantan cuando, a veces como unos en México, cantan frases y palabras, es casi igual con los dominicanos, es muy cantadita. Eh, y otra cosita también es como que otra cosa en la República Dominicana. Sí, es como así, en la República Dominicana, la República Dominicana. Y también yo he notado que uno de los dominicanos cierra la boca, no está como así, muy abierta la boca, pero es más cerrado, como así, como, oh, pero que como tú estás, todo bien, ya tú sabes, tranquilito, estoy en mi casa, aparte con mi novia, con mi familia, así. Eso es como yo he notado también con los movimientos de la boca. Tiene que enfocarte en la boca, cómo se mueve sus bocas. Eso también te va a ayudar muchísimo con el acento, porque en este caso no simplemente yo voy a decir que lo que, con una boca muy abierta así, no es que lo que, no es que lo con una boca más cerrada así, ¿me entiendes? Es muy extraño, para mí fue muy extraño, pero eso es la verdad, eso es la realidad de cómo se hable, de algunas personas que se hablan en la República Dominicana, así con la boca cerrada, y no sé cómo, suena muy como, no es como, cómo decirlo en español, pero o en inglés, pero en español, pero en inglés es como que muffled, como no están diciendo las palabras muy claramente, ¿me entiendes? Es como que no es como palabras cortadas, no están, perdóname, no están cortando las palabras, pero es como que no suena muy fuerte, no suena muy fuerte. Creo que, así, no es que lo que, como no suena muy fuerte, como casi soy capaz de oír cada letra, ¿me entiendes? Así. Y bueno, así a uno de los dominicanos hablan así, bueno, me da mucha risa, pero yo no debería reírme, pero no sé, me da mucha risa, me pone muy feliz. Porque estoy aprendiendo un montón de cositas sobre su forma de hablar. No es muy diversa para decirlo menos, porque a la vez se puede hablar muy rápidamente, muy despacito, así, y luego van a decir la palabra muy rápidamente, así. Es muy, wow. La forma de hablar de los dominicanos es algo fuera de esta mundo para decir la verdad. Es increíble. Cantada, suavecita, suavecito, suavecito, suavecito y elegante. Ok, la única cosa, bueno, yo voy a decirlo con conocer dominicano. La única cosa yo hago para practicar español es ver series de España. Encontré a que no hay quien viva recientemente, pero mis amigos son mexicanos. Pero bueno, no para practicar lo que he oído en la tele. Y a veces el problema porque nadie puede corregir que digo que aparte de mi amigo mexicano. Yeah, that makes sense. And I think that's like a problem that a lot of people have. They they may not have a lot of people who can correct them. So that can be okay, it's not necessarily an issue, but again, it depends on the kind of like what your goals are too. Because really, as a learner of a language, you're always making mistakes, always. But you don't always have people around you who may be willing to help you, correct your mistakes. Yeah, that are able to do it or that want to do it. So that's kind of a big thing as well to keep in mind. Like I know for me, if I have a Spanish speaking friend, like there's only so much I can do to correct them when they speak. Because I know I'm not like an English teacher. I only know so much about the English language. I'm not, yeah, like I did terrible in English class. So for me, I know like I can't really help like my native Spanish speaking friends because I only know so much about the English language. So it's like I can't really have like those kind of sessions. I can help them a little bit, but like I'm not really like a good teacher like that. But I do try to help, the best that I can with some of my friends. But es muy difícil para explicar como la gramática de inglés. Like I don't have it memorized. Like a lot of the grammar rules. Like I know more about like Spanish grammar that I feel than I do English because I don't remember a lot of English grammar. I remember a lot of Spanish grammar because I've been learning it. More as an older child. Older child. I don't think that's correct. As a child, and then or when I was in middle school as a preteen, and then high school, young adult. So I remember those grammar rules way more than I do English. Aquí, déjame ver, déjame leer eso otra vez. La única cosa que yo hago para practicar español es ver series de España. Son mexicanos, pero de no práctica que he ido en la tele. Ok. Nagajun. Buenos días. Good morning from India. And good night from the United States. Thanks for joining. How are you doing? ¿Cómo estás? So yeah, I was gonna say, oh yeah, to add on to what you were saying, para añadir o como yes, sí, para añadir más canciones a tu lista para el acento. Mientras ves las series, siempre, como ya te he mencionado, notas cómo se habla, es muy rápido, cómo es el patrón, el ritmo en que hablan los personajes en esa serie. Toma muchas notas de eso, el vocabulario, su acento y imitarlos también, imitarlos muchísimo, imita todo, imita sus gestiones en la cara y también sus gestiones con sus manos también, porque como todo eso es aparte para mí, para el acento. Entonces, sí, se puede ayudar muchísimo ver películas, ver series con tu acento, pero tienes que practicar. Literalmente, tienes que practicar em, como cada vez que tú estás mirando algo así. Pero eso es la clave, tienes que hablar con voz alta, no simplemente en tu cabeza, bueno, eso te ayuda, pero si estás hablando de tu acento específicamente, tienes que practicar muchísimo, tienes que practicar hablando en voz alta. Por ejemplo, imitándonos, ok, alguien dijo, baja la arma, tú vas a decir la misma cosita, baja la arma en la misma forma en que diga este personaje en esa serie, ¿me entiendes? Tienes que imitar, Pero también después de eso, después de la imitación, tienes que practicar con tus propias frases. Entonces tú vas a hablar con tú mismo en español con este acento. La imitación, hablando con tú mismo, siempre durante el día, cada día. Eso es la mejor forma de mejorar tu acento. Siempre tienes este acento en tu mente, ¿me entiendes? Siempre estás recordando de este acento. Eso es la clave para mí, esa práctica. Por esa razón, hay muchos estudiantes muchos estudiantes de español que hablan como gringos. Gringo es un chiste, porque no saben cómo se suena este idioma, no saben los sonidos o no están practicando tampoco, no están practicando las letras del alfabeto, no están hablando en voz alta, solamente están escuchar, pero nunca están invitando, nunca están practicando en voz alta, nunca están creyendo sus propias frases, ¿me entiendes? Tienes que practicar con tú mismo siempre. Eso es la clave, o con otros nativos. Eso es la clave. Coño. Amiga, esa palabra. Bueno, que aprendí de aquí no hay quien que viva. Joder, tío, o ese señor cuesta, váyase. Qué bueno. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite words. But yeah, I'm going to check out. I'm going to check out that series. Guy, I've never seen it before. Aquí no hay quien viva. Actually, let me look it up right now because I never heard it before. Aquí no hay quien viva. También yo creo que algo que te puede ayudar es si te encuentres un guión de una de las series o telenovelas que estás mirando y se puede practicar así en voz alta otra vez. Pero necesito un VPN para mirarlo en Netflix. Ok. Muchas gracias por contarme eso. Pero, por ejemplo, tienes un guión de una serie, un guión de una serie o una película, yo voy ahora mismo, yo voy a utilizar ese libro para que te ayude. Para mí es muy difícil para crear frases a veces. Crear frases es súper difícil. em, Especialmente durante una conversación, porque tienes que comprender esa persona con quien estás hablando, tienes que pensar en lo que quieres decir, las respuestas y todo eso. Pero se quita la complejidad si lees algo, porque no tienes que pensar tanto en crear frases. Entonces, con tu acento español, solamente se puede abrir un libro así o como ya te he mencionado, encontrar un guión y vas a imitar el acento que tú estás escuchando en tus series y películas. Entonces, 3 veces yo fui a la oficina de correos de Kinmore Station y la primera a la tarde, siguiente después de trabajo. La segunda pasados 2 días, los días el jueves de aquella semana, también tras la acotadora jornada de interpretaciones, no permanecí media hora como había propuesta Berta, sino casi 1 hora en ambas ocasiones, víctima de la presión que asalta siempre a quienes esperan en vano. Bueno, en ese caso, obviamente, mi acento no es tan fuerte, pero todavía no importa si te sientes muy avergonzado, avergonzada, o no te sientes muy cómodo con ese acento, no importa eso, ¿me entiendes? Em, tú tienes que, practicar así. Tú tienes que practicar así. siempre. Like I don't feel very confident speaking like that with my accent, but that's a part of the the process. You're not going to sound perfect the whole time. You're not going to sound perfect at the beginning. I mean, so for me, like just doing that little exercise right there feels very uncomfortable. I don't like it. I know it doesn't sound very good, but that's really the only way that you're going to better it is by practicing it over and over again. That's something that I have failed to do a lot when it comes to developing an accent. Is that practicing no matter how weird I feel, how uncomfortable I feel, and things like that. You have to practice. No se puede dejar al lado la práctica. You just can't do it. You can't like not practice it and still think that you can really succeed and really improve in your accent and your pronunciation if you don't practice. It's la clave. It's la clave. Shalom to classical music. What do you think of the idea of having video Discord calls with subscribers? I know I would like to practice Spanish with you for live streams. Yeah, I've thought about it. Yeah, for me right now, it's mostly about time. So I'm definitely thinking about doing something like that in the future. Right now, I'm just trying to figure that out. Figure out exactly what I would like to do with that. As far as live streams for subscribers or something like that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I thought about making a Discord too, but yeah, it's definitely something on my mind to have, more like private type sessions for live streams and for practicing Spanish. 'Cause I think it'd be really fun too. To hear everybody's hear different people's Spanish speaking abilities, have conversation in Spanish, have a fun time having conversations. But we'll see. También quizás. Yeah, we'll see. It might be something that people could pay for too. It could be that. It could be something that you would pay for. I don't know, like a subscription or something like that. Or we could have like conversations or something. But we'll see. Estoy pensando en eso. Vamos a ver. We'll see what 2023 has in store. Pero muchas gracias por las ideas. Thank you for the ideas. I think that's definitely something that's kind of like the next thing on the list for my channel, apart from just making videos and things like that, but really starting to build out my community more, being able to connect more with my community, with my audience and things like that. So I think it'd be a very good opportunity for that. No hay de qué. Muchas gracias. Okay, let me know what has been your favorite video of my channel so far. Let me know what that has been. That'll be interesting to know as well. Your favorite video so far, or your favorite type of videos. That'll be something good to know as well. What has been your favorite type of videos? Or your favorite video from my channel? Claro que sí, tomo tu tiempo. Tomo tu tiempo. Y también yo diría que nos quedan 10 minutos hasta el final de este live stream. So I'll say in 10 minutes, once we hit the 2 hour, or once we hit the 2 hour mark, I will be terminando esta live stream, ending this live stream. But I'll definitely be making, of course, I'll be making more Spanish News live streams in the future. So don't have to worry about that. Definitely will be keeping this going for the rest of this year and keeping this going for next year as well. Because I love doing these live streams. I love them a lot. I love the conversations that we have. I love all the different resources that people are sharing. And then usually, I have some members who are from Spanish speaking countries, so they can come in and help with anybody who has question with Spanish and things like that. I've had someone from let me think. I've had someone from Argentina, join this live stream. I don't know where the other person was from, and the one's from Argentina. I can't remember where the other person was from. But yeah, definitely some Spanish speakers join these live streams. It's really fun being able to discuss with them. So it's always fun when you have students, and when you have native Spanish speakers all together, having a good time and talking. So that's definitely been a highlight of this year for me, for sure. Over the course of me having this channel, and we're actually coming on, crazy enough, it's almost been a full year of my channel, and that I can hardly believe. Like, that's for me, it's like, wow, it has gone incredibly fast. It's almost been, yeah, it'll be one full year this coming Monday, I believe, when I published my first video last December 12th. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it was December 12th. So yeah, almost come up on a year. I can't believe it. It's been really fun. I never thought that I would be on YouTube like this. So this is a really incredible experience. And then also just being able um, to be able to share my journey, share my journey learning Spanish, be able to give people tips for learning Spanish. I hope they're helping. Hope they help out a lot. But not only that, I really love being able to help people. I really want people to learn Spanish a lot better than I have. So that's why I give a lot of tips, because I know a lot of people can benefit from my failures with the Spanish language. So that's why I like to talk about my journey, because I think through my journey, everybody who's watching these videos can learn a lot from the mistakes that I've made and things like that. So I definitely try to really talk about my failures, what I've learned from my failures, so you don't have to make them. Like for me right now, like this year, I've been going back to the basics of Spanish pronunciation, going back to the alphabet, because I've had poor pronunciation within the Spanish language, and I didn't really know for years, and for over 2 years, I didn't know that my pronunciation was so bad until I started to talk with Spanish speakers. I started to analyze my pronunciation more, and then I realized, oh wow, I actually do speak very poorly. I need to actually I need to correct all these mistakes that I've had, because I've been speaking with mistakes, with pronunciation mistakes, for so long, and I forgot all the basics of Spanish for the most part, because the first time I was learning Spanish was when I was 13. So it's like I forgot all these different rules. I forgot all the basics of the language. So now, after having a break from the Spanish language, the break from high school to college, that was 6 years. So 6 years I wasn't thinking about Spanish at all. So I forgot everything. So now I'm having to go back and review a lot of things that I haven't studied. So I think sometimes there's actually a really good benefit if you are learning Spanish from scratch. I think it's a really good benefit, because you get to start off learning the language, without having a lot of these issues and pronunciation issues, and a lot of just kind of gaps in your knowledge of the Spanish language, because you didn't have a gap when you were studying. But I definitely try to help out people as well who have these gaps. I think that's very important. If you're coming back to learning Spanish after years and years and years, then yeah, you need to almost become a baby again and learn the basics. Relearn the basics, how to count, how to say the letters of the alphabet, different sounds, letter combinations, all that stuff, because you just don't remember. If you don't remember, then you need to go back and review it, instead of just trying to go to advanced stuff, learn a whole bunch of phrases and stuff, because you learn all that stuff, but then it's like you'll get mixed up if you don't remember the grammar. You'll get mixed up if you don't know how to say the words properly. I'm going off on a tangent, but yeah. It's been a fun year. It's been a fun year. I'm really happy I've been able to connect with all of you, connect with the audience, hear your stories as well. Learning Spanish, your Spanish learning journeys definitely inspire me. All your comments really inspire me as well to continue, continue learning Spanish. I have many days as well. I have many days where I don't feel like studying. I have many days where I feel very insecure. I feel like I have many days where I feel insecure and I don't really know anything. I still have a lot of those days sometimes. Like even today, like during this live stream, it's like, I'm speaking Spanish or whatnot. But I sometimes I feel like I'm like, oh, I made so many mistakes, blah, blah, blah. I made mistakes. Why did I do that for? I'm a fluent Spanish speaker. I have like a lot of negative thoughts like that. So a lot of the comments that I get from all of you like really help to keep me motivated. So thank you for that. And that's why I like community, like the language of the community is very helpful and very motivating too. Okay. Genre music, modern classical music, mi favorito tipo de video. Mi tipo favorito de video es que me da información interesante. Sería interesante ver un video completamente en español. Ok, pero un video me gusto era How Learning Two Languages. Ah, perfecto. Perfecto. I don't know why I said it like that. I said perfecto, perfecto. con mi acento gringo. Perfecto. Perfecto. Ok, Sean Monica Music, historia de español me interesa mucho también. Oh, yo también, sí, me encanta la historia. Me encanta la historia, bueno, de cualquier país, pero también con los países de habla España, sí. Usted is from the ancient phrase, vuestra merced, our honor, or our honor, nuestra, your honor. Although nowadays they say señoría for your honor. Okay. Vuestra es like nuestra, yeah, but for nosotros, sí. Vuestra. Sí, es súper interesante. Y también muchas gracias por compartir qué fue tu video favorito. And yeah, do I have one video? I have one, I think I have a few videos where I'm speaking completely in Spanish. Like ones that I'm not having my tutors, but I'm trying to think. Well, one I'm making a sandwich in Spanish, if you like that. I made a video where I was making a sandwich, a very a very dry sandwich in Spanish. But yeah, I'll definitely make some videos in Spanish. Yeah, I'm planning on that. For me, going back to like the insecurities and stuff, a reason why I haven't had many of those videos where I'm speaking in Spanish all the time is because I have these insecurities of what are people going to say. I don't care too much what people are going to say necessarily. I don't like making mistakes. It's basically just that it. It's just like I like making mistakes, especially if people are watching my YouTube videos to learn Spanish. For me, it's like I don't want other people to make mistakes either. So I think that's kind of like the big thing I need to get over when it comes to making videos like that. I want to make more videos when I'm speaking Spanish, but since I don't speak it, oh gosh, I speak it good, but I still make a lot of mistakes and things like that. I don't want other people, learning those mistakes and things like that. But maybe I'll put like a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, like, hey, por favor, no me sigues. No habla como yo, por favor. No hablo como así, por favor. Eso es solamente para un video. Yo no hablo muy bien. La gramática es horrible. Sí, oh. The people need to see the struggle. They're gonna see a struggle, all right. They're gonna see a struggle. It's gonna be a lot of me going like, wait, se me olvidó esa palabra. Ay, ¿qué fue? ¿Qué fue esa palabra? Yo tengo una punta de mi lengua. It's gonna be me just having a conversation like with myself, trying to remember a word or trying to remember a phrase. Or like, how do you say that grammar? Wait, what's that grammar rule again? It's gonna be me like doing that the whole time. But yeah, I'll try to make a video like that. I just gotta figure out what it would be about. Like where I'll do it at or whatnot. But yeah, that'd be something fun to do. It'll be a big challenge. I don't know. For me, it's different. Doing it on a video is different from speaking Spanish on a live stream. So this kind of goes back to speaking Spanish in different environments. Me speaking Spanish with my friends is different than speaking Spanish in more of like a formal setting. Like when I was volunteering in Spanish, like it was different. It was more difficult. Yeah, speaking of live stream right now is like for me it's fine. Like I don't really care about making mistakes. I'm saying a lot of things incorrectly in English and in Spanish, but I don't really care that much because it's a live stream. But if for me, I'm like maybe for a video, it just feels like more official, and I don't know. There's something about it that just makes me just like more conscious about my mistakes, if that makes sense. But yeah, es un desafío, ¿verdad? Es un desafío. So it's a struggle. But yeah. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Make sure that you like this live stream as well. I have some different Spanish learning resources that you can read in the description box of this live stream as well. So I got two books, like regular Spanish books. Well, I mean, they're graded readers, one for beginners and one for intermediate. I got a Spanish verb book, Spanish dictionary, grammar book. That's all linked down in the description box of this video. And there's also the live stream. And then there's also a discount for ITALKI lessons. So you can grab that link as well in the description box. Vale, ya son las 10. Supongo que te vas. Gracias por esta conversación. Claro que sí. Me voy. Y también hay un enlace para donar dinero en mi página de Buy Me a Coffee. So you can also donate if you would like to support my channel as well. That is on my Buy Me a Coffee page. That's also linked down below en la descripción. Pero otra vez, mil gracias a todos ustedes. Thank you very much for joining this live stream. This was a very fun conversation, as always. Definitely look forward to having more conversations like this, having more live streams like this. So make sure that you stick around for that. Keep your eyes out. Turn on your notifications too. Turn on your notifications. Tell your friends to turn on the notifications. Share my videos and all that good stuff as well with your friends. And yeah, hopefully we can grow this channel some more. And I have some more videos coming out this week. Got 2 videos coming out. So those should be pretty fun. I hope that you will enjoy those videos as well. They are fun to make. So yeah, keep your eyes out for new videos. Muchas gracias otra vez por venir. Y no te pares de estudiar. Don't stop studying Spanish. And I also recommend that you start to learn some Latin dances if you can, like some salsa, bachata, merengue, un poco de cumbia, because that will also help with learning Spanish music. But we'll talk about more about Spanish music and Latin dance a little bit later. But muchas gracias otra vez y nos vemos. Hasta luego, cuídense. Buenas noches. Adiós.